Flappers. So Genshin is a game that has united many different types of gamers, and today we are going to look at some of the Genshin tropes and subgroups of players. Of course, starting us off are the three most common categories: the casuals, semi-casuals, and the MLG Pro League players. With casuals, you get what it sounds like: people who play Genshin with a carefree mindset and oftentimes finding that Genshin even slips out of their mind if life gets too busy.
If you know what I mean.
Work. I mean work. Now, the semi-casuals are a tier above and has dedicated quite some time into the game and does look forward to playing it every now and then. Followed by that, we have the MLG pros who for some reason seem to have all their life assets bet on the game, and when I say life assets, I really mean the 87 alt accounts they rerolled through to land on their current main. Now going forward, we will be diving into subcategories. Do know that each of the following mentioned Genshin players falls under either casual, semi-casual, or MLG Pro. Starting with the collectors. These are the players who has a stockpile of all the items that they've got scavenged. Now whether or not they really need these items or know what they do is another story. We have the event specialists. These players carefully worked out every optimal way to get an edge on events in the game. They know the glitches and ins and out of every little detail there is to know regarding events. The Primo Hoarders, a very common breed of Genshin players who are constantly plagued by the thought of needing more Primos for a specific character that is not even out yet. If you ask them who the character is, they'll usually respond with a JPEG of a hot waifu who just had their left toe leaked in 180p. Or they're just saving for Ganyu rerun. Waifu Husbando collectors. These players are really quite simple. They summon for the hottest male and female characters. Now, not to be confused with the Waifu Husbando thirsters, as the collectors simply admire while the thirsters they thirst. We also have the news broadcasters. These are the players that link you the newest updates to the game, new characters, here you go. New region, here you go. Breaking news. Breaking news, the CEO of MiHoYo just had a bowl of porridge with some Xiao Long Pao for breakfast. Here you go. These people somehow knows everything about Genshin, and their source? I don't know. Must be Jesus or something. Moving onwards, we have the PvE maniacs. These are players who indulge in the PvE aspect of Genshin Impact, similar to their twin category, the PvP maniacs. Now, you may be wondering, but Walrus, there is no PvP in Genshin Impact. Now, if you direct yourselves to my comment section or on the forums, you often see people engaged in PvP battles. Now, sometimes you have 1v1s, other times you will find that it's a balanced 5v5, but once in a blue moon, you will find a 9v1, and that is what we call a gangbang impact. Shying away from all the killings and bloodshed are the Teapot Dwellers. They are some of the finest architects the game has to offer. The top ranking Teapot Dwellers are also coincidentally Animal Crossing MLG pros, so think twice before calling these players casuals. There's nothing casual about a 30,000 plus Adepti energy realm. Another type of dweller can be found outside of the game, and that's the Reddit dwellers. These players spend more time on Genshin related subreddits than actually in the game. While their reasons differ, it's often for them to find like-minded people, since the game doesn't offer that. By the way, if you want to meet like-minded people, consider joining my Discord, links in the description below. Followed by this, we have the tier list worshippers. Now, these players hold onto the tier list like it whispers the answers to life. Each of their characters are carefully constructed as per the tier list guides them, and after each successful win in-game, they do be lifting their bold rim glasses as it reflects the light off of their perfectly clean and smooth surface, smirk, and whispers under their breath, everything is according to Keikaku. Opposite from the tier list worshippers, we have the Freestyle Randy. These are players who just do whatever the hell they want. They're usually the players you find with the Skyward Harp on Diona and Fischl running the artifact 4-piece of I don't give a f. While these players are usually stuck in game progression, since they can't figure out how to level up their world, they somehow have the best luck in the entire game as well. Their accounts stacked to the teeth with 5 stars that they don't even know they had. Oftentimes they'll trigger the tier list worshippers by asking them, hey, is this character good? While presenting a C6 Ganyu they got from a single 10 pull. Another gem of the player types are Mr. Always One Patch Ahead. These players somehow can never live in the moment and spend all their time fantasizing about the next patch when the current one hasn't even dropped yet. Always Out of Mora are the players who can never seem to save up any money in-game. Now this has been researched to be a projection of their real-life inability to save up money as well, so it all comes full circle. The mains are just what it sounds like. These are players who claim to main a certain character. Now, while all characters have people who mains them, not all mains are made equally. It's a given fact that in Genshin Impact, the more difficult character you main, the more people will be impressed. Because nothing is impressive about being able to demolish a building with a Boeing AH-64 Apache helicopter. Now trying to do that with a pair of chopsticks, ladies and gentlemen, that is the difference between a Ganyu main and an Amber main. Part-time math teachers, these are the players who have complicated math charts for game optimization. They share their findings on the internet, oftentimes it's just Reddit, and are very careful to label each findings as to not confuse people. But of course, oftentimes these players have their work sourced and referenced by some jackass inappropriately and out of context, despite their efforts to prevent it. Hilichurl linguists, now as time goes on and people get more immersed into the game of Genshin Impact, you will find that some of them have taken a liking to the Hilichurls and have began to assimilate. The Hilichurl linguists are those players who essentially have mastered the language and constantly add it to his or her daily lingo. So something like,
Wow, this food tastes gaga mimo mommy.
don't ask me what that means. And finally, we have the World Hoppers, or I'd like to call them the Travelers. These people are usually endgame players who leave their world to find others, sometimes to help, and other times to min-max other people's resources. They quite literally take up the name of Traveler and spend a good chunk of their game time away from their own world. Like and subscribe if you found yourself in one of these categories. Remember, you can fit more than one category, such as the case of an Albedo main who is also a traveler. They come into your world and ask if they can play you a song to the most beautiful sunset only to leave after and never to be seen again. Such is the beauty of Genshin players. You never know what you're gonna get. Now, with that said, I'll be taking my leave. Subscribe if you want to see more of these kind of videos. If this video gets to 1,000 likes, maybe we'll do another one. So, until next time, stay safe and peace.